All right, guys. We got ourselves the quarterfinals here of quarterfinals, so semifinals of the OlimoLeague monthly finals. Dark in the bottom left, ByuN in the bottom right, and ByuN, obviously, him and Dark always perpetually tied at 50-50. And I always say this, and then I always go, oh, am I spreading fake news? And I went and checked. The last time I cast these guys, at the end of the cast, they were at, I think it was like 140 maps each. It was still exactly even in maps, but I think Dark was up by 2 series. So he's Dark has like a 50.3% win rate versus ByuN right now, which means it's probably time for ByuN to beat Dark, right? And equalize, because they always go back and forth, and it's always around 50%. Big thanks, Cranky Ducklings, for rating us up. Really enjoyed watching the bits of Home Story Cup that I could. And once again, thanks to Light for sacrificing his sleep schedule to actually cast Home Story Cup like a crazy person. Appreciate an Australian deciding to cast a tournament from 10 p.m. until 10 a.m. That is a commitment, my friend. Yeah, I've decided it's a bit too awkward trying to do the live translation with my phone, guys, so sorry for that. Oh, are we going to do 3 hatchery gasless? Dark is going to take the base down here. Probably this base, but he could go for the gold if he wants to. Ooh, Dark. Dark, are you being a cheeky boy? You should be able to mine this open. Oh, no, you gotta micro this, and then this one will open it up, and then he can start a 3rd hatchery. And look at how well this times out, guys. Nicely done. Hey, this actually works out pretty well. Yeah, you can also build a 4th base here, and you just get the minerals, but that's all you really need early on anyway. That's the most important thing. And you can really try to dominate the south side. That being said, I mean, your opponent can break these rocks. That's going to collapse rock towers across here. Destructible debris. They can put tanks behind that. And how are you going to defend that? So if ByuN actually abuses that southern push angle, I actually think it's impossible to deal with, because you can break the rock towers on both sides. This whole gold area is cut off, and Zerg can't break into it. That being, I mean, you just play Roach Ravager, right? I'm like, how can you deal with that with Ling Bane? It's like, well, it's Dark doing a gasless 3 hatchery build, so he's almost certainly going to play Roaches anyway, and Ravagers can just bile across the rocks easily, so no worries. Getting a bit ahead of myself. Oh, pull back the Reddit point 1, Dark. Dark has really interesting micro. When you watch his techniques, it's very much a lot of F2, not a lot of control groups, a lot of mixing in manual control, and then there are times where he gets very systematic with his control groups, but only sometimes. Oh, get the Reaper. Reaper, no way out for you, son, unless you go south, because that's been open, in which case you are fine, never mind. ByuN's going to go for his own greedy build to counter the greed, which is 3rd base out here, mine these minerals out while you're morphing the orbital, and then get this gold base. And he might even push the north. You can open these minerals here, just a single worker trip to open those, and you can obviously push from the tower. If you push from the watchtower, you can also put tanks on the north and south of this, and it's very hard for Zerg to engage to both sides at once. Second gas is there. Reaper's still dancing around, forces a Spore Trick, which of course Dark will promptly cancel and go back to mining. Now, we don't see any gas yet, guys. It's 3:30. It's incredibly late. Guys, you're meant to go double gas, usually about 3:20, and a Roach Horn right after. He's going to go single gas. He's going to try and play Lings. Often when he plays only single gas, it means he's going to play Lings. Then again, it's Dark, so consistency is definitely not his middle name. I mean, supply blocked on 50, that is his middle name, but an Overlord pops, it's not too bad. He's making a lot of queens. 5 queens out, 2 more building. Reaper gets a creep tumor, but does go down, pays a price. Hellions on the north getting pushed back. So we've got split queens for Dark. But man, Dark, like, he's just put 3 workers on gas at 4 minutes. He's building 4 Overlords. Where's the gas? Are you actually gonna, his Ling speed's not gonna kick into like 7 minutes. I guess it's fine because it's Hellion Banshee. If it was like a 2-on-1, it would be a much bigger problem. That being said, Dark doesn't know what he's up against. He needs to scout with this Overlord to confirm. Looks like he did see the factory and starport earlier when they were building, and he's gonna confirm it now. Hellions poke in, one of those does go down. Hellion and Reaper both have died. No actual direct damage other than a creep tumor kill on the other side of things. And yeah, he sees everything. So he knows, okay, you're playing Hellion Banshee. You're not making stim, cloak for the Banshee, because you can see the tech lab is not bubbling for the starport, whereas it is for the barracks. So that tells you, yeah, it's either Raven or Banshee. Could technically be Battlecruiser, but if he's got 2nd and 3rd barracks this early, that wouldn't make sense. So that's why he knows what's happening. And sees the double upgrade timing at the back as well. Double Evo has not started for Dark. Dark has not started Ling speed. Dark is literally going lair with no link speed, no roach warren, and he's long distance mining the gold. What are we doing, Dark? He's taking a 4th base over there, not on the gold. Why? What is... Did he just like over drone and forget to take gas? Like he's onto 3 gas now, but still no link speed, still no roach warren at 5 minutes 20. I've been telling you guys that Dark was inspired when he saw how greedy Serral was at Dallas, and that he got away with it versus Maru, and Dark had his eyes open to how stupidly greedy you can get away with against the modern Terran player, because they play so greedy themselves and so defensive, and they only like to do light harassment that Queens can defend. But dude, his link speed is just started. Double Evo though, Baneling Nest. If you don't get hit by Stim Marines before link speed's done, it doesn't really matter. And you won, as long as you won 1 upgrades here, dude. This level of greed. 1-1 starting at 550. It's not a bad timing. Yeah, it's behind the Terran, but that's okay. Terran does have a fully mining gold, though. If ByuN just goes for like some sort of like 8 racks behind this or something, I'd love to see it. I really think you can push forward so hard and fast. Look at all these extra minerals that ByuN has. So much minerals starting to float. So he's got to make a decision on 4th command center or 3 more barracks right now, ByuN, sorry. Starting to float minerals, like I said. Yeah, he's building more depots. Where's the armory? Hasn't made the armory just yet. Armory's super late. He's building 3 depots at a time. He's taking an extra gas. ByuN's build is not lining up very nicely. I don't like this build that much, especially with the gold minerals. He's going to start floating soon. No armory to start 2-2 on time. It's just starting now. A bit late for ByuN. Let's see what he can find with this drop. 5th hatchery on the gold base out front. Dark, I don't think he's married to that gold hatchery. I think he'll be willing to give it up if this becomes an untenable position. 32 Zerglings as well. 1-1 for Terran. No combat shields just yet, though. And ByuN's going to be cautious. He's going to pull back. 2nd factory goes down. Okay, ByuN's just going to play super standard. Very generic TVZ here. Probably a good choice against a guy like Dark who can throw the kitchen sink at you. You never know when Dark's just going to, you know, you're over there at his house for dinner. And he's like, I don't know, he's getting you a bevy or something, and you ask him a question, and it's like a friggin', you know, you can feel the switch flick in his brain, where he goes from a nice accommodating host to a bit of a serial killer, and he just pulls the cutlery drawer out and just starts throwing knives and forks at you. Stabs you with a chopstick. You're like, who stabs someone with a chopstick? Dark's like, I do! Also, Koreans have those metal chopsticks, man. They're not like those cheap plastic ones you might get in some places. Marines coming around as well. Hydra. Oh, dude! Hydra counterattack! Oh my god. You give Dark an exposed mineral line. He is one of the most consistent players at abusing that. That's a real pain there for ByuN. ByuN's 4th command center on the top side. Like, ByuN's done a good job of clearing creep, but he can't really push in any further there. He's going to try and send some Marines across. The single Hydralist getting another SCV, getting 2. The Marines clean it up, but that's such a nice move. Just so annoying. Hive's now started for Zerg. ByuN is down 30 supply. The early greed is paid off. I really don't think, even with the gold base, I don't think ByuN has kept pace because his 4th is a bit slower. He's only on 64 workers. Also, why is he building 4 more barracks? Oh, when he moved commands into the Banelings. Guys, what's ByuN's build? He's gone 2nd factory, 4th command center, but what for? And now 4 more barracks? Why is he going 9 racks? He's not building Widow Mines. He's not building SCVs. He's started now. Marines getting jumped on by the Hydras up top. I'm going to be a little critical here on ByuN's build because Dark has played a very greedy build with a clear advantage. Can I get away with it? And now he's just macroing, spreading creep, taking all the bases, swarming with Hydras, counterattacking with Hydras. Everything Dark's doing is really tight and makes sense. And ByuN's build does not make sense to me because he's been very intermittent on his worker growth. Only 69 workers at 9 minutes. Whereas Dark's been sitting in the high 70s for a long time, and he's happy to chill there. Dark doesn't want more workers than that. He maxed out the number of workers he wanted over a minute ago. And there's, you know, it just feels a little slow on the growth for ByuN. I can't quite tell. Is he committing to a timing attack? Is he macroing? It feels like a nothing build. This is the same problem Maru had versus Serral back in Dallas. Oliveira was very critical. He said a lot of the top Terrans are just doing middle-of-the-road nothing build orders. And if you do a nothing build order, it's not going to look very good. And I really feel like Oliveira opened a lot of players' eyes to that. We saw a lot of 8 racks in the month after Dallas. And now it feels like maybe a little bit of regression with ByuN's build order as he figures out El Dorado on the new patch. I think Bane, Hydra rolling forward. The Marines started stepping back. Dark going to have to back away from the Widow Mines. Drop on the top left comes in as well. No real worker damage and great pullbacks on the Queens. Dark is so good at keeping his Queens alive, man. creep spread pretty nice on the south side, not as big in the top. ByuN's been staying reasonably active. Oh, mines, watch out for the mines, watch out for the mines, Dark. Dark does take a few boom booms. Marine's getting a really nice trade there. Despite that, ByuN is still behind in the trading. Going to show those Marines that moved into the Banelings earlier was quite costly. Dark getting those SCV kills with the Hydras was also really good. Oh, more Widow Mines here. Good Widow Mine. It's, my god, the Zergling count, though. Dark is so rich. Dark is so rich. ByuN realizing there is more Zerg than he can account for. This is a ridiculous sized army. Dark gets 9 SCVs, forces the Marines to pick up. The command center does re-land. It could have been worse. Honestly, there's a 5th base coming up behind this for ByuN. If ByuN weathers the storm, Dark can get a little sloppy. When Dark's had an opening like this, sometimes he tries to just throw everything at you and overwhelm you. And if at first these trades aren't going that well, he's now down 600 resources and the units lost. If ByuN can stabilize, he could be okay, but he's got to be defensive. He can't be moving through the choke point. The Widow Mines all get blown up before they can fire. The Ling Bane jumps on top. ByuN keeps thinking he can counterattack, but he's got to realize he is forced into a defensive stance right now. But ByuN's MO is aggression. It is where he feels most comfortable. And right now, Dark is not letting him do it. Dark is not letting ByuN go first. ByuN does not feel comfortable with it. He's building 15 Marines at a time, 1 Widow Mine, nothing else in production. He needs to keep up Widow Mines as well. They are what's going to stop this Ling Bane avalanche. Marines do take out that 6th hatchery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was his 8th hatchery. Oh my lord. Dark is still on 6 bases with a macro hatch. So that was his 7th base that went down, his 8th hatchery. Not a big deal to lose that. It's only 12 minutes in this game. It's just a little bit of production. 11 lurkers are making. Seismic Spines is almost done. +1 range coming in as well. He delayed +3 melee to get range upgrades. Makes sense when you're so Hydra and now lurker heavy. Marines in the middle trying to clear creep. ByuN desperately trying to fight for space. He's got a triple drop in the north. Going to try to come in. One of those medevacs is deep in the red. Lurkers are nearby. They can defend it for now. He's pushing in the right side at the same time. ByuN goes for a crazy dive. Finds that worker line. Gets a lot of damage on the gold. Behind the base, he picks up, pulls away with those medevacs. It looks like Lurker harassed behind the gold, getting 4 SCVs over there. This game is getting very fast, very quickly. And the athleticism of this game really showing itself. ByuN needs to pull back. Oh, Banelings do take out that Widow Mine before it can fire. It just gets launched. And this gold base still in trouble. Got to give up mining on this base until the tank can clear this out. Slowly inching his tanks forward. You do not want to stim on those with Marines. Keep it in your pants, ByuN. Keep it in your pants. You do not want to go and fight those. Just let him deny the mining. Get a siege tank over here at some point. You should be fine. He's on pure Marine. ByuN's all in. Oh, ByuN's all in. Guys, ByuN doesn't want to play late game. ByuN doesn't know what to do. He's not building Marauders. He's on Mass Reactor. He doesn't have any tech labs. Look at this. His barracks, his 9 barracks that he went to are all reactors. He does not have any tech labs. He cannot make Marauders or Ghosts. There is no late game transition. His entire plan to win this game for ByuN is get you out of position and just mass Marine kind of base trade. I'm just going to have so much firepower and avoid fighting the Lurkers, avoid getting hit by the Banelings. If he can pull this off, it'll be a miracle. Marine stutter stepping back. There are so many forces for Dark right now. He's done this a lot against Solar. Has ByuN made epic comebacks with this style. Nanomuscular swell. Dark jumps on top, focuses down a bunch of the medevacs, and then pulls back. Great move for him. Meanwhile, Lurk is still harassing that gold base. ByuN needs to stop rallying SCVs and mules to that gold. Hydra's getting chased, but they run away. And you see, one of the big powers of Nanomuscular Swell, the Hydra Lunge ability, is its ability to actually escape from bad positions where they used to get hunted down. Nidus in the main base right now. It's a problem for ByuN. In the middle at the same time, Dark always doing 2 things at once, never making it easy. Overseer's falling. Baneling gets a big hit. Oh my god, ByuN! ByuN takes another big Baneling. He's trying to stand his ground and fight. He knows he needs to win these fights away from the Lurkers, but if you can't even beat the Hydra Bane with a pure Marine army, then you are in the doo-doo. Nidus goes down in the main. Another one does start immediately. Hydra's swelling forward once more. That is an orbital, not a planetary. And ByuN's going to get taken out in game 1 of this semifinals. Thought I timed the GG pretty well there, guys. You could tell I thought he was going to type. But ByuN fighting till the last second. All right, guys. We've got ByuN in the top left side of the map. And Dark taking a good, solid game 1. He's on a tear today, smashing his tournament bracket. 13 Overlord, and the depot does go down. So, it's so funny, guys. So, Lambo was saying on Home Story Cup today that apparently 13 Overlord is not the best thing. Going like 14 Overlord into Extractor Trick or something like that, or even Extractor Trick 15 Overlord might be the most efficient ways to play, and Shin's been doing this. And Lambo's like, well, you know, I actually tested this a while ago, because people told me this. And Shin, he's like, yeah. And then Shin said this was better. And I looked at his replay, and I was doing the normal 13 Overlord. And we were both doing like the same 16 hatchery, and I just had more minerals. So I thought mine was better. He's like, but then I realized it's just because Shin didn't stack his workers properly or something, or like he had like a bad worker split at the start, and it actually is more efficient. It's funny as well because I love this where like, you know, you've got guys in 2024 being like 13 Overlord is actually not the most efficient opening. And it's obviously like you're talking about a couple minerals difference. Like it's such a small difference either way. But there are like some small different things you can do where like if you don't go 13 Overlord, you have like slightly more lava production on the hatchery. You don't hit 3 lava. So the hatchery keeps producing a bit more potential unit production. Jack Attack was telling us this like literally in 2016, 2017, early Legacy. He's like, yeah, guys, like Extractor Trick is actually way more efficient if you go up and do the Overlord like 1 or 2 supply later. He was like, oh, I've practiced it, you know, I've tested it tons of times with like high level players and stuff and blah blah blah. And it was like 15 supply Extractor Trick or something like that. 14 Overlord, do an Extractor Trick, get the 15th drone is the best way to do it or something. And everyone was like, you don't know what you're talking about, Jack Attack. You're a low level player. We don't care. But I guess we should talk about this game, guys, because this is the classic pull first 6 Zergling push. And can you believe it? ByuN not scouting? Well, I never. And he's actually going Marine first. Is he going 3 Command Center? Oh, he's just dead. He's playing 3 CC, I think. It's either 3 Barracks or 3 CC. Puts the second guy back on gas, but I think he's going to play just Marines and 3rd Command Center. Zerglings, ByuN, run, 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 run. Oh, God, he's got to pull the boys. He's going to pull 8 SCVs. Marine goes to the minerals to try and hide there where he can fight 1 Zergling at a time. He's going to have to micro that Marine, otherwise he's going to get surrounded. Marine goes down. 2 more Marines are building, and the SCV's trying to fight, but this is not a good fight for ByuN, I don't think. Oh, wait. His micro is kind of insane, though. He's only lost 1 SCV and 1 Marine, as long as he protects the low hit point SCV. Pull back that SCV or repair it, and you should be fine. Wow, he crushes that. Unfortunately, he builds a 3rd command center while playing completely blind, something that Dark can rely on, which is why Dark's going to rally 6 roaches across and win the game. Now, if you non-stop build Marines, pull back to the high ground, I guess you could defend this, but you're going to need to pull SCVs. And with the Overlord shuffling over to give high ground vision, Ravages microing back and forth. Ravages, 6 range, Marines only 5. Ravages way faster. And Marines and SCVs, you're just going to struggle so hard unless you can snipe that Overlord somehow, which of course Dark should not make that mistake. ByuN playing super greedy here, and Dark just looking for a very easy win condition. He's already made 1 Ravager. When he hits 75 gas, I think he'll make a 2nd one as well. He'll probably make that as close to the front as possible. You can see here, he's at 75 gas now. 1 more Ravager should morph. No, he's not going to bother. Okay, he's just droning behind this. He's going to just run in. He's going to save the gas to heal a wounded Roach. Because remember, when a Ravager finishes morphing it, it does end up healing. Oh, he's going to lose that Roach by the looks of it. Okay, a bit slow to pull that back. He's trying to focus the Marines down. ByuN doesn't even pull the boys. He just gives up. He's like, screw this. I'm dead. And Dark, that's a nice build order victory against ByuN's Omega Greed. He knows his opponent doesn't scout, and he punishes him. Always good to take a free win versus a guy like ByuN. I really think people should do that more often, because ByuN just never SCV scouts. He refuses to, and he'll mix in crazy greedy builds like that. Now, I do think ByuN, chat says ByuN should probably go 4 command center now, because there's no way Dark will do that twice in a row. He's like, go command center first into 3rd command center before barracks. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh my gosh. Overlord coming on out. 2 more drones are building right now. Drone's going to be moving down to the natural. If you're a regular in the chat, please help me out by answering people's questions in chat, guys, so I don't have to spend all day answering the exact same questions. Really simple. You can always just hit !B if you want to link that bracket up so people know what they are watching. CC first into 3CC. Come on, you apes. You want to live forever? Indeed. Let's kill them all. I too am from Buenos Aires. Spawning pool going down. Dude, I rewatched it. It's such a good movie. I don't think Starship Troopers will ever get old. I feel like that's a movie you could be watching 20 years from now and it'll hold up so well. Rico was an SCV. Well, he definitely drilled. Command Center is going to be going down. Guys, can you believe no scouting? But it's a 1-Rex expand. Not as greedy. Reaper's going to come out, give him some vision, of course. Dark playing pretty standard. Hashgas pool. It is ley lines, a map where I really wonder what Dark's expansion pattern is. A lot of people like to take this base, which, by the way, tanks on the low ground can literally shoot your mineral line. But I think Zergs have decided this middle area is open enough. They can flank easily from the left and down here as well. So it kind of ends up being, you know, totally fine for them. They don't seem to mind it. I still feel bad taking this base, though. I don't like it. I definitely prefer, like, 3rd here, 4th here, and to expand along the edges of the map and, you know, play that flexible style. Pig, if you're making fairy bread, does it need sugar? The hundreds and thousands make it balanced. Yeah, hundreds and thousands is all you need. You just put more of those on if you want it to be a little sweeter. They basically are just colored sugar already. All right, Reaper getting some very good damage. Ooh, Zergling, get out. Ah, 1 Ling goes down. Nice snipe for ByuN. 25 minerals of value. Obviously not a big deal, but Zergling's going to come out and try and let that creep tumor start immediately. Inject goes up in the main. 3rd hatchery did go down with the drone being hidden outside. Very standard stuff. And now the 3rd command center. Usually we'll see starport next, and then a 2nd gas as well. I know many players like to take that gas in the natural, but ByuN usually likes to take it in the main base. That's what I prefer as well. I like to, like, finish the mining in my main so then I can just rally to my natural, whereas other players like to kind of mix it up a little bit, have a bit more of a chaotic order in terms of where they're rallying. 5 Lings coming out. Ling speed's almost finished. Ooh, hello. Those Hellions are building. Will they be ready in time for those Zerglings? I don't think so. I think ByuN should be fine. We'll see how we go. Oh, Hellions gonna pop in a moment. Going for the mule. No, it goes for the SCV. 1 SCV. Can we get 2? No, good pullback. So he gets an SCV, gets a bit of mining time. The mule loses a trip. That's 25 minerals. Super worth it. Just a tiny bit of pressure here against ByuN. And ByuN is always so chatty when he's playing Dark or Solar. So chatty. Especially in the OlimoLeague tournaments. The players are always having a chat, having a bit of a laugh. This one is sponsored by Chiswick, of course. Big thanks to Crank for sharing the replays. And Chiswick, one of those Korean streaming sites, have been getting a lot of viewers for these events as well, which has been really cool. I think after a bit of a break and much StarCraft 2 content on those Korean platforms, people were excited to see a few more of these events popping back up. Creep Tumor. Oh, gets the double snipe. Really nicely done. Looks like a cloakless Banshee here. So just a defensive Banshee for ByuN. Pretty chilled out opening. Depot's going to finish soon after he gets supply blocked. So only a small supply block, while Dark is having a massive 66 supply block. 5 Overlords all building at once. But 8 more drones coming out. He's back on gas in the main lair and a 2nd gas. That's going to allow him to get an early Overseer, but we know that he doesn't really need that for Cloak. Best case scenario here, these build orders, is if Dark just rushed double upgrades before lair, because he could get away with that. Hellion defensive Banshee before upgrades in barracks and stuff, you're going to have plenty of time to rush your own upgrades, but doesn't manage to do it. And it looks like these Marines should potentially get the Overlord. Overlord's going to try and hide. Doesn't quite get to the safety of this little S-shaped Tetris cube in time. Tetris shape, I should say, since it's definitely not a cube. Oh, there's purple mana holes on this side of the map. Oh, they changed this. This used to be kind of like molten looking. They have updated the map. That's cool. I mean, it's called ley lines, right? Makes sense that there's literal mana kind of flowing from the bottom of the map. You got lava down there anyway. Double Evo chamber coming in. Banshee's on the south. Remember, these don't have cloak, guys. No cloak Banshee. Could still cancel the 4th, though. It's just started building. Could pull down to the right, but he's going to rotate. Pulls the queens out of position. Hellion's diving that top left, trying to deny the creep. Dark, as we can see, is expanding along this south side. So if you can push that side later, that'll be effective. By clearing the creep in the north, you do set up a potential push towards the natural. It's pretty deep in Zerg territory, though. I imagine pushing this ledge and putting tanks like across these areas is usually what you're going to do. You could put a tank there and a tank up here and a tank here. Marines on both sides can be very effective. Aliens trying to dive. They get another tumor. Pull in, pull out. That's a lot of creep tumors they've killed. It doesn't show up individually on that unit's loss tab, but that's a lot of creep tumors that have gone down. Another creep tumor goes down, but Dark's just like, that's fine, dude. If you want to keep losing Hellions to this, I'll just keep replacing them, and I will snipe those Hellions for free. Aliens come in. Can they block it? Yes, they can. ByuN's trying to play very annoying right now. So far, quite successful. Armory goes down at a way better time for him. So he's going to be able to start 2-2 on time. He's still playing a pretty generic opening. Like, there's nothing crazy here. Just 5 barracks, factory, starport. And I think against Dark, like I said, I mean, makes sense. Against Dark, you don't want to have a giant opening in your play where you play like 4th command center before 4th and 5th barracks. If you do that, you're going to leave yourself open. My real question is what happens next for ByuN, because this is a pretty committed 2-tank push. He's got a medevac coming down. Only one? Oh, he accidentally only built 1 medevac. That's a problem. He's going to try and tank push the 4th base. He's got to commit. He's got to commit now. Dark sees this. Dark sees this. Those tanks, he's going to try and hug the edge. He's going to get 1 on the low ground. You can actually, I don't know if you can put a tank in that little corner. I don't think you can, but I think you can put it there. Marines are here. The tanks both right next to each other. Not the most protected 2nd tank position. I think I'd prefer that over on the right side over there. Make it a bit harder for Zerg to engage. Ling's getting ready to flank right now. Dark's already got a super quick infestation pit. Man wants to go Hive so early. Just rush to late game. Rush straight through. You've got so much economy. Who needs to hang out in mid game? Let's just go to Hive, man. Marines, tanks, Hydras, Mutas, none of that. We're going to Hive tech, mate. +2 armor for his infantry. +2 attack start seconds later. And the Ling's running north. Marines and Hellbat's going to deny this 4th. Dark willing to give it up. But Banshees are the only defense on that 3rd. Marines also kind of stand ready. Good move for ByuN. Dude, getting a 4th base snipe this easily is pretty good. On the other hand, what does Dark lose? He doesn't throw army away. He's like, that's fine. Oh my gosh. Good pickup, good pickup, good pickup. Bit of a crazy move there for Dark. But he's just rotated his workers. His Hive's on the way. Problem is he doesn't have carapace. That's the big problem. There we go. He starts it. He starts it. He fixes the mistake. I think Dark's... Oh my gosh. Oh, ByuN going too deep on creep. Getting his Marines caught out. Oh, and the Lingbane Hydra will take care of these 3 siege tanks. You can see 2 at the bottom going down. 1 in the north will go down as well. Oh, Dark, what are we doing? Dark, what are we doing, mate? Oh, he accidentally right-clicked away. Took a few extra shots. Not the end of the world, as he does realize and corrects that, but just a weird mistake there. ByuN, a bit overcommitted to that push. I gotta say, guys, he should have killed the hatchery and got out of there. Losing those 3 tanks is a problem, and overstaying your pushes, one of the big problems that Terran players classically have. I always feel like the best Terran players are very good at pushing, and then realizing, okay, the push is over. I've given you a minute or 2 to prepare your army. I need to get out of here. I think hanging around in that position was a bit too greedy, and now he's pushing again in the open ground. Dangerous. He wants to clear this middle area. If he can dominate this middle area, he can branch off in both directions to deny the northern hatchery and the southern one that's being rebuilt. Marines stimming forward. Ling's starting to get gunned down. Dark just ignores him and breaks the rocks down while the Marines are shooting him. He realizes having this area open is very big. There's no banelings in here. The Ling Hydra fighting the Marines with a giant surround. A crazy fight there. I think that was a good fight for ByuN. He's ahead 1,200 minerals or resources in the unit slot tab. His 4th command center is finished. He's going to float that down to this middle base. Supply is decent for ByuN. He's only down 5 workers, but the Hydras getting that Hive Tech upgrade, that can't be a priority. Is that actually that good, man? Dude, maybe Nanomascular Swell is actually an amazing upgrade. They did buff it a little bit, so it's like, what does it last? It's 100% speed boost for 0.7 seconds. Initially, it was only 60%. It's a very short duration, but it's crazy that he's getting that even before the Vipers started. No adrenal glands either. Baneling, Ling Hydra rolling in. Marines getting hit by Banelings. ByuN is going to need to be a little bit quicker on that Marine micro if he wants to get the damage done. Speaking of damage, turns out right side was just a distraction. ByuN finds the damage on the left, and he is keeping Dark on the ropes. Dark may have his Hive Tech kicking in, but at what cost? Hatchery does survive, which I'm a little surprised by. ByuN's trying to get some momentum going. He's playing a crazy star right now. Gets in here before the Hive Vipers are out with the Parasitic Bomb. Leaves a lot of Marines behind, though, and these medevacs now have to pull back. Great defense for Dark. Attack on the right side coming in for yet another round. Dark can give this base up. This is his 6th base. Does he really need 6 bases right now? Probably not. Spore Crawlers do great damage now. Only 1 medevac. He's been low on medevacs all game. The Marines are way too damaged. Nanomuscular Swell comes in. That's right. The Hydra's thrust forwards and Swell all over that Terran. Just leaving this bio with not enough medevac support. ByuN's push is way too scrappy, and Dark is too tight right now. You can tell he's organized. His creep spread's good. You can't just be hoping to catch Dark off guard in this sort of game. Dark's got a 15 army supply lead. He's up 2-0 already. He wants that 3-0 stomp, something which he almost never gets over ByuN. Their series are almost always close back and forth wars, but today Dark is showing up with fierce intent keeping ByuN away from his territory. There's just no medevacs. Only 2 medevacs to heal up that whole army. That's going to take a while. Every stim costing him a fair bit. He's got a few more medevacs coming forward now. There are 7 on the map. 3/3s on the way for Terran. +1 range, +3 carapace, seismic spines on the way for the Zerg. 74 workers only for Dark. If it was a normal Zerg, I'd say that's a great economic situation for the Terran, bad for the Zerg. For Dark, it's exactly where he wants this game to be. He's got Vipers. He doesn't have Adrenal. Doesn't have +3 carapace yet, but that's okay. Upgrades are even. Hydras swell forward. The Vipers drop the parasitic bombs along with the swell of the Hydras. Do massive damage. The parasitic bombs there taking down a bunch of these medevacs. Widowmine on the Overseer kills so many Marines. Oh man, Dark's been so good about that recently, guys. He's always getting Overlord speed, and he's flying his Overseers over the Widowmines and dragging the friendly fire. You've got to be wary of those Widowmines. If they track onto the Overseer, you've got to retarget it or quickly focus that Overseer down with your Marines. You cannot let it fly over your army and drag that Widowmine splash in the middle of the Marines. Otherwise, it's devastating. 5th Command Center coming up, Ghost Academy as well. 11 Marines building at a time. Got that double drop in the top of Marine Marauder, looking to try and sneak in on this hatchery, which has survived so much in this game, but Dark's aware of the fact that that is in ByuN's sights. He's going for Nidus. Lurk is starting to morph on the bottom right. He's got a good spread of units. And ByuN, he's starting his ghost transition, but remember, these are 3 supply ghosts. ByuN's already on the ropes, and with 3 supply ghosts, he can't afford many. It's going to weaken his maxed out army significantly. Hold fire, Lurkers! He holds! He holds! He holds! He holds! Oh my god, he's waiting for ByuN to get so deep, and there we go, he activates it as his army engages. He gets a few massive shots. Yes, the Lurkers do get focused down. 3 of them die very quickly, but Dark there with his sneaky trap, swelling after these medevacs. He's loving that ability, dude. And Dark, what a great ambush. A drop comes in on the top left side. The army's frantically running home to defend. Can he save his hatchery? The answer is yes. Yet again, that hatchery goes down. ByuN picks up and rotates the medevacs. Not much defense there to deal with that right now. Lingbane Hydra going to take out the sensor tower from the low ground, start to damage the gas and the SCVs. Few Lings coming forward. The Widowmine spready is there, but the Lings in low numbers dragging these shots out, and that's going to be something that Dark is very happy with. ByuN very unhappy with. Medevac goes down. Looks like Parasitic Bomb dealt with it, and he's looking for more energy to deal with these medevacs. Got to be careful about sucking that hatchery. That hatchery will be going down if you're not careful. And indeed, he gathers more energy off it with the consume. That's an issue. Lurkers on the low ground starting to get sniped here. Overseer does get focused. Another one comes forward. Lurker shots landing big behind these minerals. Oh, ByuN's kind of getting hammered. One more snipe on that Lurker could be good. He accidentally clicked on a Hydra, though. He gets a Hydra, not the Lurker. The Lurker's still alive, still denying the minerals. This is a problem. ByuN's like, please, just 1 or 2 Marauder shots. Finally gets rid of that Lurker. But more Lurkers arrive. Dark says, you don't have the answer. No tanks, no libs, no ghost energy. By the way, Massling Bane Hydra army up north. Good luck dealing with this, mate. Dark, once he has momentum, he does not let go. He may have forgot Adrenal Glands this game. Doesn't even matter. Blinding Clouds go down. The Ghosts do snipe the Vipers. The Marauders, the Ghosts trying to spread. ByuN desperately trying to hang on. The Hydras swell to get out of there. The Lings pulling away. A few of them being left in the worker line. At the same time, Lurkers are still denying mining on that purple gas base. The Widow Mines are going to fire. A little bit of friendly fire, mostly just hitting the Zerglings, and the Hydras swell back to safety. Lurkers moving forward right now. Overseer's going to move forward. Going to slowly pick away at that planetary fortress. ByuN's up against the wall. He does have a fully mining base on the right side, but remember, we're up against a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 base Dark. Dark's not even expanding behind this. He's so focused on just killing ByuN that he hasn't really paid attention to his economy for a little bit. Hydrilling Bane is here. More Lurkers popping out. Widow Mines are there as well. Hydra's coming forward. Medevac starting to fall. Ling, Bane, Hydra rolling forwards. Got Ghost, Marines, Marauders, and Mines. An extra hatchery goes down there. 7th base for Dark finally coming up. He's only on 71 workers. His supply is not as impressive as I thought it would be, but he does still have minerals in the bank. Looks like he's just maybe been ignoring his lava injects a little bit. So he does stack a few injects you can see now across these hatcheries, realizing, oh, I gotta catch up, man. I need to make sure these things get injected. And you can see Dark spams injects. See, this queen is told to inject the main. Then it's told to inject this hatchery. Then it's told to inject... Actually, it's told to spread creep after that up here. So this queen has to go all the way back to the main, inject there, then spread creep up there 2 minutes from now. Dark has some of the sloppiest late game injects. Like, it's very low APM, which is what I love about it. It frees up his attention for army management, but it is definitely not prioritized on being as efficient as he could be. But do you need efficiency when you spine your opponent from below? The Ghost Bio army walks into the Lurkers, and Dark has this one in the bag. I mean, there's no fighting back. The supply is too big. Dark's got the numbers, and he's just carried the momentum so well. The Planetary goes down to the links around the Lurkers, Overseers overhead, Nidus Worms going up all over the shop. And it just feels impossible for ByuN to come back from such a deficit. Not with just Marine Marauder, a couple of Ghosts. He's never really had a lot of chances for the Ghost to get energy. Widowmine's looking for some Boom Booms. Ghost stands its ground up front, does get taken down. There's still a few Lurkers over here pushing ByuN back in the middle as well. Man, a 3-0 over ByuN. This is so impressive. Look at that. Dark just has that killer instinct today. Gets himself a 3-0. Dominating this tournament so far. Dark goes to the grand finals of the OlimoLeague November Finals. GG, well played.